Hello, Scott. Here's the Sprint 3 kind of process. So I'm going to start off by showing you that I can upload it using the command line and running the scripts. So I deleted the resource group I had to show that I can do it. Right now I have automation test running, and I will pause now until it is set up the database. So, and now that that is finally done after quite a few minutes, I can run the final one that will create the web app, which will take a little bit longer. And while that is running, I will show you the Python code, which you have submitted for us. And I have all of that sitting outside of the GitHub repo. That way that no secrets or any information will be pushed to the repo, so they will remain hidden. I will also go over Pivotal Tracker real quick. So for Sprint 3 or 4, I will be going over as a user of the site, I would like to be able to fill out a form to add everything needed for the spill calculation. So I'll just be getting the form set up on the page and broken down. It will be able to take in inputs, which will then allow those inputs to be saved to the database so that in the future the calculation part can be incorporated and they can use the information stored already to determine if a spill is reportable or not. So if logged in as a user or facilities manager, then the form tab should be accessible. So if you're not logged in, then you will not be able to fill out a form until you are. If a form is selected, then the form should have all required questions to fill out for a calculation in the future. So there's probably 20 or so questions that the form will need to fill out. We already have this database set up to handle those, so all of the questions will be asked that are needed to do so. And then if a form is submitted, then it should be saved to the database. So once you have hit submit, we should be able to see that the form is in the database under the most recent form for the user to fill out. Some tasks I'll have to do: I'll have to create a form controller from the model. I'll have to add the form tab to the shared layout file so that only you can log in or use it when you're logged in. I will break up the questions so that they're easy to understand, so that it's not one long page of questions. It'll be broken down into a couple different pages, and the questions will be kind of in similar categories where depending on what the question is, they'll all kind of be relevant to each other. I'll ensure that all required fields are there for specific inputs, so you won't be able to fill out a form without filling out everything that is needed. Output information will be added to the form before submitting, and this form will be saved to the database. So that is my 2-point user story. And the blockers, I will need to wait until there is a user and a facility manager's added as a user. And then my second user story will be, as a user of the site, I would like to be able to fill out a form to add everything needed for a spill calculation. Oh wait, no, that's the same one. Second one, as a visitor to the site, I would like to be able to fill out a quick calculation report that will let me know if a spill is reportable. So for this one, it'll be a little more simplified than the form. You will be able to select a chemical, select how much is spilled and how long it has spilled in an amount of time, and that'll tell you if you need to report it. And if it's not reportable, then it will tell you when it will be reportable if the spill is not contained, and it'll also give you who to contact, and then it'll also show you after 24-hour period how much will spill. So if chemical's reportable quantity is reached, then it will return that the spill needs to be reported. If a chemical reportable quantity is not reached, then it will inform the user when it will be and how much will spill after 24 hours. And then if a spill is contained and will not be higher than the reportable quantity, then it will return nothing is needed to be done at this time. It will also be a tab on the nav bar that anyone on the site can use. You don't have to be logged in, and you can be able to search any chemical in the database to run a quick report on, or a quick calculation. So for this, I'll have to add a calculation tab to the nav bar, create a model for the calculation that touches each needed model, like the chemicals, contact info, everything needed to run a quick calculation. I'll create a controller for the newly created model to add the format for the spill calculation. I will also be touching some JavaScript so that we don't need a full page refresh. It'll just be able to be, you'll hit enter and you'll get the information you need right away. And then it will return the appropriate information and contact info if needed, depending on what you enter, and that is a part of the acceptance criteria. My final user story is as a developer, I want to learn how to do unit testing in an ASP.NET Core MVC project by using it to test a simple feature of our project. And that is the 2.1 that we will all need to be doing. As you can see, we have 24 point velocity for the sprint from the 23rd of March to the 5th of April. And then before then, I will take care of a few bugs of typos and just a few little things for units. Our icebox is pretty filled up with things we want to do in the future, and that should last us at least another sprint, maybe two. It looks like that the site is done. I can launch the app here, which I have that running already. So a page refresh will bring me to the website once it is done loading. So we have the website here. We can see that there are 4 chemicals in the database from our seeded data. So the connection string is working and our upscript is working. We can also know that identity will be working when we go to log in. We can log in as an admin. And now that we are logged in as an admin, we can go to the admin panel and we will be able to run the scraper, barring that yes, it has worked. So we did discover that in the CS project it was removing those files somehow. I'm not sure how that got added or why. It didn't do it for all of our JavaScript, but now if we go home, we will see that we now have 355 chemicals in the database. So both of our databases are working and are together. And our website is now deployed through Python and Azure CLI scripting. Thank you and have a great day. Yes, I just realized I did not show that the Sprint 2 retrospective was done. It is in the GitHub repo on the main branch, and you can find that here. I can go ahead and send you a link through Discord if you would like. I don't want to take too much time. I'm already at 8 minutes, but we did the good, bad, and ugly retrospective again for the funtrospective. We find that that one helps out a lot just in what we've done, what we've learned from the sprint, what isn't going well, and then what we can do better next sprint, and a action plan for the few things that went wrong. We didn't think we had too much issues aside from getting a couple user stories done, but that has already been addressed and taken care of, and nothing needs to be brought up with you at this time. So that will conclude the Sprint 3 planning. Everything is taken care of.